Alright. What's up, everybody? We are here with round 2 of the Foreigner vs. Korean battle. That's right. It is, of course, the foreign team house with Reynor representing them down here in the bottom left side from him in Korea. Up against Shopify Rebellion's Byun. If you guys haven't already watched round 1, go back and watch it now, because we're no doubt going to spoil it a little bit as we go through. Essentially, the way this starts is this is a best of 7, but foreign team starts with a 1-0 advantage since they did win that previous round. So, Raynor is, of course, he was, successful, his team was in winning that. But now they're in the all-kill format, so it's best of 7, first to 4 wins. Now, the difference here is, of course, all-kill means whoever wins stays in. If Byun beats Raynor, he stays in. And you basically, essentially, could get an all-kill if you just kill everyone on the opponent's team, and no one else in your team even needs to play a second map. First round, on the other hand, was just preset matchups between them, right? It was like you versus you, you versus you versus you. I'm not sure if they did a blind draft into who was playing on each map or what, but either way, it's going to be interesting to see the foreigners being like, hey, we're going to send out our strongest player first. The Koreans have held back herO, maybe thinking he's a little bit more snipeable than Byun. Send out rock-solid Byun first. Byun has pretty good TVZs with Raynor. Raynor has lost a few series to him recently, but they've been only because Raynor's playing Protoss. I don't know the last time he lost a Zerg versus Terran series to Byun. He loses maps to him all the time. They have really close back and forth series sometimes, but I feel like Raynor normally comes out on top. I think there was a pretty convincing victory, I believe, Byun got versus him in a full PvT series they played, as well as there was the series that was really close where Raynor kept on swapping a Protoss like every second map. Anyway, second barracks is on the way here. No scout for Byun, but he's got that early reactor, so he's going to have a fantastic marine count. And of course, Raynor's pulled 2 workers off gas because he wants to go straight for the 3rd hatchery to kick off and add the link speed in a little bit later. He's hiding this drone in case a Reaper comes in and does get that 3rd hatchery down right on 2 minutes 30. Not bad, not bad. Link speed will be starting up soon. A lot of people like to go 3rd queen before link speed. He's actually going to go overlord speed. Oh, okay. I think Raynor realizes Byun has some weird openings. He wants to scout to see what it is. It is just a regular old 2-on-1 though, so not really the best thing to commit info to, because usually you can... Actually, I was going to say usually you can figure out it's a 2-on-1 just because there's more Marines than normal, but you got to realize there's so many reactor first builds where people build 6 or 8 Marines and then swap into Hellion production that actually overlord speed will give a tangible advantage here. Someone was asking what the matrix was. This is an unbuildable plate that for some reason just looks like a little grid on this map. Little unbuildable plate. Just stops you from building in that area, so people can't 2 bunker or 3 pylon wall someone in on the bottom of the ramp. Ooh, Overlord comes in, sees a lot of Marines, sees a starport, the reactor, the factory. Raynor knows exactly what he's up against. He's like, okay, it's 2-on-1. So he's got his own link speed on the way. He's building queens. He's got 2 mineral lines saturated. And of course, he's rallying back into his gas. I would imagine 1 more worker does need to go in that gas. She hasn't done just yet. Hopefully he realizes that and does fix that soon. A little bit of a mistake for Raynor. Let's go to his vision. Okay, so he's just scouted through. He confirms that it is a 2-on-1. You can see he's looking there in the main. He puts the 3rd worker on gas. He's injecting, rallying towards the front, spreading creep as well. He's starting to build Zerglings already, which means he wants to do a little bit of harassment potentially. So if Byun picks up and drops, he wants to be able to backstab the wall off. Otherwise, though, it's very early to be building those Zerglings. He's going very quick lair as well behind this, which means he wants to get quick Baneling speed. Interesting. Not prioritizing upgrades at all. Not a bad way of playing it. I do think, though, he would like to have a few more drones on that 3rd base. He scouts. Does see a bunch of Marines there. And, of course, it's 20 Marines out. These guys already arriving at the 3rd base. Queens, if they move up to the edge, they could get some hits on those. Those Marines are a bit too close. He definitely could be getting some hits on it. I don't know why he's not. I mean, I guess it's such a small amount of damage. Maybe he considers it meaningless. 21 Marines. Wow, this is a lot of Marines coming over with Stim. And this is one of those moves that sometimes it just kills the Zerg, and sometimes they just transfuse their way through all the damage. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 transfuses available. Reynor with a good queen spready. Oh, good transfuses. Does 3 of them. Nice. Wrap around on the Lings. Starts to push back the medevacs. Gets one of the medevacs down. Oh, this is costing Byun a lot of Marines and a medevac. 2 more Marines go down as well. Great trade there for Reynor. You might think, oh, but look, it's worst on the units lost. That's really good because he's on 3 bases. Byun hasn't even started a 3rd command center. It only goes down now. Absolute disaster for the Terran player, in my opinion. We expect a 3rd barracks to go on that reactor normally. Interestingly, Byun left the starport on there, and he actually went double engineering bay 4 gases first. Wow. You can't afford to keep up medevac production with this sort of build order, so a bit of an odd choice for him. I would like to see the reactor lift off and build more. There we go. Starport is now doing that. Okay, 4th barracks is going to be built there with this SCV. There we go. Byun. Okay, Widowmine is going to start firing. Does take out one of the queens. Oh, and it gets out of there. Not bad. Marines pulling back for now. 4th base on the left. So Reynor's saying, look, I'm going to dominate this left side of the map. He's actually got good creep on the right. If he keeps that spreading, that'll be awesome. Only a single tumor there, but that's also continuing. If he could get 1 more tumor down there, that would really help him out. Baneling speed is almost finished. He's going to start his 1-1 upgrades. Once he has the gas for it, he's on 1, 2, 3, 4 gas geysers. So playing a really good, safe game is Reynor so far. He's not going too greedy on the gas or all the workers. Oh, another queen goes down. Down to just 8 queens. It's a little bit fragile. He doesn't have much transfuse left. Ling Bane starting to run forward. Baneling speed is not quite here. Good pickup, though, by Byun. Creep immediately respread. Reynor's got the melee started as well now. Baneling speed is finished. He's on 62 drones versus 53 SCV Terran. Feels to me like if Reynor doesn't take big damage in the next minute, he is going to explode and get up a 5th base and just be up 30 supply by the time they're both maxed. I know that seems like a while away, but it kind of speaks to the control he should have over this game. Byun accidentally didn't have his depot down, so his SCVs did rally over in the wrong path for a moment. He's going to go Armory, so he can start a pretty quick 2-2 and continue the upgrade advantage. Oh, Contaminate on the starport. Very nice. Reynor using a little bit of the poo-poo on their medevac facility. Does delay production for, I think it's like 29 seconds or something like that. What is it? Contaminate. 21 seconds. 30 seconds in Heart of the Swarm start time. Okay, so we've got Marines just going to nip the end off that creep in the middle of the map. Still not the greatest creep spread since there's been so much pressure in his face. Hydroden does come down as well. Reynor's up on 80 workers. This is what I'm talking about. He's already up 20 supply. I said 30 supply when maxed. It might be 60 supply when they're maxed. Because Raider's going up to 85 workers versus a Terran who's just starting his 2nd factory. No 4th command center in sight. Ooh, okay, looks like a Widowmine maybe fired on those Banelings. And the Banelings do pull back, not overcommitting. Oh, Byun with a good catch. Getting a little bit of value there. He's got his own 2-2 started up as well. Well ahead of the 2-2 of Reynor. Reynor's 1-1 will be finishing in just a second. Ling Bane is going to go for the surround right now. Oh man, I feel like Reynor's just doing his normal. He's building 11 more drones. Okay, Reynor, he's so greedy. He's so greedy. This is the problem with playing against Reynor. You give him any room, if you're not in his face, he's disgustingly greedy. And it puts pressure on players to try to kill him, but he's also so good on the defense. And if they go too all in, you know, it hands him control of the match. So 4th command center starts against a Zerg on 95 workers. I expect an infestation pit to go down any moment. Now, he does need to get that melee upgrade, perhaps still a little low on the gases, as these gases are finishing up on the 4th base. 5th base in the bottom having workers transferred to it as well. He is trying to respread his creep on all different fronts as Reynor. The Marines and a Widowmine on that left side poking it back, gaining a little bit of space for himself. +2 melee and infestation pit are on the way. Not a single Hydralisk upgrade is on the field, guys. He's got 10 Hydras and no upgrades for them. Hydras are one of the worst units in the game without upgrades, so that's something that's very good for Byun, not so good for Reynor fans. Medevac's pulling to that side. Overlord goes back over there as well. All right, we've got a command center finishing up on the low ground, so we'll be able to look for a 4th soon, but 30 supply lead at max. That is a dangerous thing to experience as a Terran. He's got a good bunch of Widowmine spread around, but he doesn't have a deep layer, and there's no siege tanks behind them. Which means that if a few of those whiff and hit single Zerglings, he doesn't really have a way to punish Reynor just rolling over him. Marines and Widowmines moving in on that right side. Nips the end off the creep. 6th base goes up for Reynor as well. Oh, good Widowmine to start things off. He's happy with that. Oh, still continuing to commit in here. Reynor with a very questionable decision. After that first shot went off, that was not a good attack. Some of his units derp out on the right side as well. Fourth command center is going to float out to the left. The Zergling is just hanging out there, fiddling with himself. No burrow, so he can't burrow to block that. Lurker Den is on the way. Hive halfway finished. Hydra upgrades, at least one of them is queued up. He's going for augments. That is the movement speed before going for the +1 range upgrade. The creep respread is really fantastic, and Reynor's bank is going to get out of control the longer this goes. I feel like he can swarm this fourth for days, but Byun with a really good move. Just a triple drop in the bottom right, cancels the 6th base, gets a few Zerglings, kill an Overseer, kill a second one, pick up, go hide in the corner. As long as your opponent doesn't have Vipers yet or Corruptors or anything like that, that's a good move. Oh, and actually, Reynor doesn't leave enough units to defend, so the Marines grab a few Lings. Reynor does react quickly, saves the Hydralisks. Marine Marauder Widowmine on that left side. Lings focus down the Widowmine and pull back quickly. Hive is finished. We expect Lurker upgrades to be the priority here. Byun's keeping him pinned back defensively, which is the way to do it. Lurker upgrades are now queued. Second Hydra upgrade, second Lurker upgrade aren't queued up, actually. Definitely something he's going to want to pay attention to. +3 Carapace is also incredibly important as he starts +1 range on that Evo chamber. Here we go. Big push for Byun down the left. Byun is maxed out. He's got 5th and 6th command centers on the way. He's happy to head towards a much longer macro game. Reynor's bank should give any Terran excitement pause, though. Any Terran that's looking at this going, yeah, he's maxed. Reynor's going to be able to throw a whole army at him for free. He's going to get an extra life, essentially, in this game because of that money. Lurkers are out on the field as well. What's he got to deal with it? 3 Marauders, 51 Marines, 9 Widowmines. Oh, God. Oh, God. Byun cannot deal with Lurkers unless they're unsupported. Oh, big volley kills a lot of the Marines. But, Banelings come forward, do save a lot of them. Byun just lost a lot of Marines there for not that much value. He's going to try and drop on this side as well. Plenty of Hydraling Bane is nearby. Reynor's not watching it right now, though. The Widowmine field, half of it's been deactivated. Can the other side get a good shot? It doesn't look like it just yet. Looks like that drop was forced to pick up down. The bottom command center does go down. So these new building command centers, if they can't finish, Byun cannot play late game. He needs to do that. These Widowmines are recharging. Gets a Lurker. Gets a Hydralisk as well. Snipe starting to land on some of these units. The Lurker's almost dead, but not quite. And oh man, he puts another SCV on the command center, but it is toast. There is no way that survives. Has to pick up and save some of his units. His third mineral line's under assault. The SCV's trying to get out of there. Oh, the Drilly boys. No! Byun getting ransacked by a very, very excitable Reynor, just scrambling over the top of that army and smashing it. Queens in the bottom right side are starting to drop, but his rally will be able to deal with it, and killing the opponent's third base, that's a disaster. We already talked about how if he can't get his extra command centers up his 5th and 6th, he won't really be able to play late game. Oh, nice cornering on these Zerglings. They do get trapped. Lings on the outside trying to help break them out. Let us out! Let us out! Most of them go down. Another Hydralisk falls to another Widowmine. Remember, there was no tanks anchoring this style this entire time. It's all about getting enough ghosts up to counter the Lurkers and trying to rebuild enough Biomine to deal with the Ling Bane that comes in as well. Extra command center is trying to build there. This one has landed. Still at 63 workers. Byun has some fight in him left. But I've seen games on Waterfall in this situation many times. And I know that this base, even trying to defend that base is a travesty. It's not going to happen. It's the long shot of all long shots. The Widowmines will actually take out a Lurker, 2 Lurkers, almost taking out a third one. But they're going to burrow behind that base. He's swarming in the right side at the same time. This is an impossible situation for Byun to defend. He simply does not have the raw material on the field. He doesn't have enough units, enough resources. The Lingbane Hydra on the right. The Lurkers are finally getting sniped down on the left. But even there, it's taken a while to actually clean up. The Planetary is tanking on the right side. The Ling Bane not happy to just clear the depots. He forces a lift on the third and forces the army back. And Reynor's trading is way too close to even. Yes, he's down 5,000 resources and the unit's lost, but when you've sucked up this much off the map this early, when you're throwing hundreds of Banelings at your opponent, you don't care because you're denying his mining. You're on 6 bases. He's on barely 3. And there's another wave building up behind it. Another 38 Banelings morphing. Oh, that is disgusting. Reynor is about to smack his opponent with a hammer of Banes. Byun sees it from the high ground. He knows what's coming his way, but he doesn't have the numbers to deal with it. Oh, no, 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 no. That's so many units. Oh, the Widowmine does get a few Banelings on the right side, but he's got to pick up. He's got to evacuate and try to drop back in the natural. Oh man, 20 more SCVs go down. Byun is overwhelmed and overrun. Reynor with fantastic defense to the aggression, start to finish. And then he just swarmed over him with far larger numbers, making it look simple. All right, guys. Reynor is up a game, and that puts them at 2-0 with that 1-0 lead. He's in the bottom left now. The Beast representing Kaizi Gaming going up against Team Envy's Creator. Now, Creator is a monster, and he apparently is very confident. That's the only reason they'd send him out here. He's like, I've got a build for you. I think Creator has some of the best timing attacks in the game versus Zerg. And it's funny because he was complaining the most when the balance patch came out. He was like, this is bad, this is trash, it's so bad for Protoss. And he had the best performances that he's had in literally 10 years. Since 2012. So it's the crazy thing. He complained the most and yet adapted the best out of all the Protoss players to the new PvZ meta. Does force the third base to be taken at the front. I wonder if Raynor feels like throwing a cheeky all-in out there. You know, you've had the third blocked. Doesn't take the gas any earlier than normally. Still just doing a very normal build. It's just microing his drones to react against this. Meanwhile, Creator did go for a standard follow-up. He's pulled one off minerals onto gas. I guess he's just rallying in there. Sends his worker down for that 20 Nexus. Solid opening. Let's see if he can get any mining time here. And Raynor's been really good at this so far. I do think Creator could spam back and forwards between the two mineral patches a little bit more. But he's more focused on, I guess, hitting his build order very crisp at home. So there we go, not bad. And Raynor's just not letting these drones get bounced off the patches. He's just microing his way through it. Yeah, well played by Reynor, not getting distracted at all. That's the biggest distraction we've seen, the drone move to the left slightly. Beautiful play, beautiful play. Just testing his mechanics. It's one of the ways you can make sure your opponent has to do a lot of clicking and a lot of things in between managing their normal build order. But Reynor is one of the fastest players in the world. He handles it with poise. Creator accidentally mines five minerals. Of course, the Zerglings are about to come out anyway, so he has to back off. Starts Warp Gate. Cancels Warp Gate. Drops Stargate. And this Stargate placement is so bad. It literally hands information of what you're doing to your opponent. I really dislike it. I understand why players go for it. They want to get the unit across the map quickly. But this is something I've been criticizing for the last year. If you build it here, every Protoss, every Zerg can move their Overlord over, see the Stargate, and then even move back and watch the front, do whatever they want with the Overlord. He already sees his second chrono on the Adepts. So this tells Reynor that he needs to build extra Zerglings to defend what's going to be a very quick 2 Adept pressure. A really clever move that we see Dark and him both utilize sometimes is sending 4 Lings around the map against this build, and then trying to, basically at this point, you run the Lings in. You click them in and you try to depower that. There's no way for them to micro their probes at home and micro the Adepts perfectly in your base. So often they just get their Adepts killed. Their probes have to fight your Zerglings, which is never good for them. In this scenario, though, Reynor doesn't go for it. He just says, no, I got Ling speed on time. I'll build six more Zerglings. We'll go up to 10 plus Lings. 10 Lings is very light in this scenario. So Creator could, he could commit to this. Oh, I'm surprised the drones didn't fight. Yeah. That's definitely a situation where you surround and just go for the kill. And 4 drones go down for 2 Adepts. I don't think that's too bad for Reynor, though, because he's got Adept map control now. He can assault this wall off. Actually, there is a 4th Adept on the way. So Creator should be fine here. That Oracle needs to just beeline straight in. Normally, I'd go for the 3rd base if I was Creator in this scenario. That's the most likely area to catch exposed lava, drones that are popping out. But the main and the 3rd both have 2 queens in them. Really good handling here. Reynor just doing a great job. Creator pulls back, keeps the Oracle alive. Reynor poking towards that ramp. He did force the Adept to shade backwards. I'd like to see that cancel and the Adept put itself back in the wall. Overlord in the main is going to spot a Void Ray and 4 gas coming out. Okay. It's a very delayed 3rd base for Creator. On the other hand, he's done good economic damage. So you can't really rush your 3rd when you're chronoing Adepts across the map, building 2 more Adepts after that, building Oracles. That's it's very costly. So yeah, he's going to move out now. As he warps in a new Adept, sends the probe out, escorts that to the 3rd. Remember, the Oracle hasn't found any damage, but it's got plenty of energy. Spore is up on that base. Main and 3rd both still no Spore Crawler. Ling sees the Oracle there and is just staying on position. That Zergling does go down to the Void Ray. Now, if the Void Ray goes across the map, there's an Overlord here. There's an Overlord here, Overlord here. So there's a few Overlords around that could potentially be sniped. But once you kill one of them, Reynor will probably pull the rest back to safety, move his queens forward, all that sort of stuff. So you do have to be careful. Let's see if he spots this Overlord. Barely doesn't. Unfortunate for Creator there. Double Oracle's going to fly in. Oh, is he just going to attack? 2 Oracles and a Void Ray do beat 3 Queens, though with 2 Transfuses, that's not the case. Oracles dive in, Queen's well positioned. Reynor's defense has been just absolutely beautiful. His Spore Crawlers are both in really weird positions. I think the idea there is he wants the Oracles to go around the Queens and try to scoop in on the inside of the mineral line and then find a surprise Spore Crawler. So this is like super mind game Spore Crawlers that Reynor's put down. That's actually amazing. Quick little pause there they had to do before resuming the game, guys. Yeah, that's actually kind of hilarious. Obviously, once the Queens move away later, he hopefully remembers to shuffle it to the middle of the mineral line. We'll see how he goes. The Void Ray Oracle not really finding that much value just yet. Creator, he's got to be careful. Reynor's a greedy boy who would love a chance to get way ahead in this game. He's got the Lair coming up, the Evo Chamber. He's completely skipped. No, he's got the Roach Horn. I was going to say he's completely skipped the Roach Horn, but he actually hasn't. Do we just see him play that defensive Roach style? Yeah, we might. +1 range is on the way. I mean, I do like the creep cleanup. This is actually really good. The Oracle Void Ray is like, okay, we can't do direct damage, but, you know, we can just slow down your creep. It's already been replaced on the left, though. Adepts in the Oracle should easily defend on this base. Void Ray does have to pull back, takes a bit of damage, but wants to come down, of course, and try to clean up that Overlord. Oracle's going to think about diving this left side. Queen's already out on the edge saying, get out of here. Get out of here, you nasties. But an extra Overlord kill, not bad. Oracles could kill that drone. Could easily kill the hatchery if he turns the Oracles and the Void Ray on it. Bit too late now, though. The Queens are there. Spire's on the way. That's a good choice for Reynor. When you've seen a Void Ray and 2 to 3 Oracles and also Sentry Immortal on the ground, I mean, that's a beautiful position to be going for that. Creator, he's only on 3 gates, but he's doing a little push right now because he's trying to force a reaction from Reynor. He's trying to scare him a little bit. He wants him to be building lots of Roaches, Ravagers, Roach Speed, which had been skipped up to this point because Reynor was trying to be so greedy. And to be fair, I think that was a mistake. He really should be getting that just for safety no matter what. But yeah, he's basically scaring him into building all of his gas on that. If he didn't do this push, Reynor would surprise him with 10, 12 Mutas and get so much momentum. But as it is, Creator's really keeping him on the back foot. He's got a nice little Zealot Prism Harass getting ready. He's going to be very upset when he sees that Spire finish. Dropping in the main with that might spot the Spire, though, before the Mutas are on the field. And every second you get to react is huge. I do think Creator probably has to play double Stargate in this scenario to react to it, but at least start building Phoenix one at a time. Zealot's coming in. Charge isn't quite done. They're going to just attack the Queen for now. Not the most value target. Of course, the drone's much easier to take down, but just a little distraction should be enough for him. He sees the Spire. He's going to have to pull back, hide that Warp Prism. Does Creator notice it? Let's go to Creator's vision, guys. We're on Creator's camera right now. He's morphing Archons. He's making Phoenix, so he must have seen what he's up against. Sees the Queens walking through the middle of the map. That's a fake Queen walk, as far as I can tell. He's making Roaches and a Baneling Nest behind it, but Reynor's on 80 drones while pretending to march Queens through the middle of the map. And I mean, he's getting his creep very far forward. Okay, so there's Phoenix here. A cannon and a battery in each mineral line really helps against Mutas, especially if you build a few Phoenix. Check this out. It's only 6. It's only 6 Mutas, guys. And that's delaying Creator's 4th base. Okay, he does start it before the Mutas snipe the probe, which is very important. These Mutas are already forcing a pretty big reaction out of him in terms of building Phoenix. He's going lots of Immortal Archon as well, but look at his units tab. Tell me this isn't the most convoluted, complicated composition you've ever seen. Sentries, Oracles, Phoenix, Void Rays, Archons, Immortals, Warp Prism, Adept, Zealot. Like, there's a lot of different units that all do different fancy things. Good Phoenix micro so far, but, oh man, both playing in Korea with no ping, remember. Those Phoenix need to get their shields back. He should try to hide these. The Mutas catch those. That'll be huge for Reynor. He's trying to cut them off. He's like, oh man, I gotta catch these. Gotta catch these. Gotta catch these. Gotta catch these. And he gets them. Nice. Snipes there. He says, wasted investment. And now just this little squad of Mutas, still enough to one-shot probes, could be deadly. Stasis traps, though, holding back his Roach Ravager for now. The problem for Creator is there's no Robo Bay. There's no Disruptors in here. So it's all about Force Field, Archon, Immortal. But he's only got 4 Immortals, 4 Archons against a massive Roach Ravager Queen. The air units cannot keep him alive any longer. There is no blink, so warping in Stalker is not the most effective usage. The Void Ray goes down! Oh, battery overcharge, not enough to keep that alive versus Biles. And because Creator's pinned on 3 base, this is not a good position to be in. Reynor wants to just trade. He's like, hey, I've got 80 drones, you got 62. Picks off an Archon there. Battery overcharge has already been exhausted. A beautiful push for Reynor, who's got so much money in the bank. And look at this awkward position that Creator finds himself in. Oh, what he'd do for a Disruptor right now. What he would do. I am telling you guys, he would sacrifice his firstborn child for a Disruptor right now. He would do nasty, nasty things. He manages to finally break through the Queens, but not before Reynor's already taxed him. A lot of his expensive units have gone down. Good force field there, traps a few more roaches. I mean, this is a real sexy set of micro for Creator. He's making more Archons, more Zealots, more Immortals, but Reynor is remaxed on Roach Ravager. Attacking into that with Immortal Archon ain't gonna work. It's not gonna cut the mustard. Creator, though, feels like he needs to do it. The Mutas are behind him doing good damage, distracting him. And Reynor's remax of Roach Ravager is here. There is 5 Immortals in there with +1. That's a pretty scary anti-Roach army, but the Zealot Archon is falling too quickly. The Immortals are good, but without any splash damage. Look at this. Now that there's no Archons, the Roach Ravager can shove forward. The air units are completely gone. He's completely non-stop maxed his Reynor. He's never dropping below max. Anytime he holds the production key down, he instantly remaxes. And that was a beautiful execution from Reynor. 80 drones. Kind of feints the Queen Walk, goes into the Mutas, but only a medium amount, catches the Phoenix, does a big Queen Walk Roach Ravager push, and just basically says, hey, I have the entire map, you feel desperate, you've got to push into me, and you never want to push into a player that's maxed on Roach Ravager, not unless you have a supremely awesome army. Alright guys, well, they've still got Cure and Ragnarok in the wings, but they need to send out the big boss. They need to send out someone to stop this goddamn hype train, because he's almost all-killing Team Korea, and that would be devastating, but this man is not going to make that easy. He's going to come out and say, no, 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 us Koreans don't go down that easily, mate. It's Dragon Phoenix Gaming's herO. And of course, he, of necessity, is the last player to come out here for the Korean team. Even though they could have picked Ragnarok or Cure, they pick herO because they say, well, we're on an elimination match, you know. There's no chance. We're throwing out our 3 best players, Byun, Creator, and herO. But Reynor is just tearing right through them. He is on an absolute tear, and I can't remember if this was played after or before Reynor's GSL performance, but you could tell he's looking really, really good. He was playing so many online tournaments while he was in Korea. Didn't really feel like he tried to hide his builds or really play too secretive leading into GSL, and unfortunately didn't have a great performance there, but he's making up for it here in these online cups. He's been winning so many events, winning so much money in the online circuit. Hatch gas pool for Reynor. The harassment from herO, doing all right here. Does bounce a drone off a little bit. You can see these drones are derping around a little bit. Kind of figuring out, where can I mine from? Whee! Yeah, much more disruptive. I also like the way herO mines from inside the mineral line. I would 100%, if I was playing herO, try to kill that with my drones. It would probably get away on red hit points every single time, and he'd be like, haha, tricked you into wasting mining time. But I look at that and I'm like, oh, come on. As if not attack that, man. For me, I would not be able to resist. Apparently, he's so confident doing it that you'd imagine he's quick enough to react that he normally saves the unit, but I don't know. I know herO, and I have a feeling that he just does this and no one takes the bait. And so he actually probably would lose it if they pulled drones to attack it in the mineral line. But no one does it. They're like, it's a trick, isn't it? And he's like, no, seriously, you could just kill it. Just no one's tried it. They always just assume I'm always watching it and I've got instant reactions. I'm not a computer, you know. Like, I do have to look at home to place pylons and cybercores and stargates, right? So I'm not a perfect player, man. But herO, always in his opponent's face, does go Adept Chrono, Stargate into the Warp Gate. Probe hanging around a little bit. Wants to check there's no Ling Flood coming out. Does see the drone going in towards that third. Oh, is he going to pylon block it? That'd be cool. Might be worth. The Adept is going to be here pretty soon. But 2 more Lings come down. 4 Lings kill that way too quickly. Oh, oh no. He's thinking about going for another one. Nah, not worth it. Not worth it when there's 4 Lings right there. This Adept is going to try to dive in. 4 Lings trapped on that side. You might want to just run past this Queen into the third base. 2 Lings are going to try and go past. But there is a Stalker out at home up in that main base. 2 Lings did already run past. Never mind. And apparently they already killed a probe. With the Stalker on top of him, though, they will be going down. Meanwhile, the Adept picks off another Zergling or 2 and dies. Oh, no micro there for herO. He's too busy trying to wall. He thinks he's getting Ling Flooded. Reynor tricking him. herO thinks he's getting Ling Flooded right now. That's why he stopped looking at the Adept. He's like, oh god, there's so many Lings. This was only, what was it, 6 plus 4. It was 10 Zerglings. This is not that many more than a normal player, but he's gotten a big reaction out of herO. Now, herO probably wants to cancel this because he doesn't want to wall himself in for free. But he's like, dude, if I cancel it and I'm getting Ling Flooded, that'd be the dumbest way to lose the game. Okay, there we go. He does cancel it. Adept Stalker in the wall. Oracle will move forward. Good moves by Reynor so far. Just, you know, feinting the aggression there. Really forcing it back onto the back foot, onto the defensive. Oracle rotating around. Gets a creep tumor. Oh, and he tricks him. Nice moves by herO. This is what I was talking about with that spore placement in the previous game, where often the queens get lured out. The Oracle kind of dives around on the inside of the mineral line. Hasn't bothered with that trick in the main base here, though. Lings are still hanging at the front. 2 Adepts are going to snake down the right side of the map. Overlords are pretty well positioned to see this coming, though. This Oracle only at 20 shields. He doesn't want to take any hits on that, so he's got to be careful. Pairing up 2 Oracles is good for their one-shot damage potential, but also you don't want to be throwing away those hit points for free. The Adepts get spotted by the Overlord. He's going to try and shade into this base, but 3 Queens plus a drone pool could easily deal with that. It's a very wise cancel from herO. herO's 3rd base gets up for free in the back. Pretty good base and map for PVZ because of that base. Twilight Council and 4 gas behind it. He's going to add a Forge as well. Adepts come in. We'll pick off a tumor. Pull on the back from there. +1 melee is on the way right now. So Reynor's going to go for that heavy Zergling style. Now this tends to crush the Blink Stalker push style that herO's been so addicted to for the last 6 months. Stalker will warp in at home to try and kill that Overlord. But look at this. 2 Adepts, 3 Oracles still posturing at the front, keeping Reynor very scared. So far, it seems like a good setup. I just don't want to see herO only commit to Blink Stalker pushes, because I have a feeling that Reynor's goal here, what my goal would be if I was in his shoes. Ooh, good catch. Hold that thought. I'll explain that later. Adept does shade in. One of them's already died. Adept does get a kill before it falls. Oracles get another 2 drones, make it another 3 in the main base. Up to 6 workers killed. They're all still pretty healthy, and they're going to come in for more. He's not happy with that, but that means he loses this yellow hit point Oracle if he's not careful. Barely gets it out of there. Doesn't get a single more worker. So good pullback by Reynor. All right, so my goal would be basically to go very heavy on the Lings here from about 50 to 57 workers. And then I would try to deny the 4th base. So I'd basically be ready with a pack of Lings to deny the 4th as he tries to push me with Stalkers. And then I'd be teching up behind that. Now, there's a few options in terms of what you tech to. I actually think Mutas can work if you've had a good start, which I think Reynor has had a slightly advantaged start over herO in this game. The other way you could do it is, of course, just play Roaches from there. Ravagerling Bane works. Hydraling Bane, if you feel like rushing ahead and being a little bit greedy. And I mean, I don't think there's a Roach Horn. So I think that might be the play for him this game. Notice, yeah, here we go. 61 drones massing Zerglings. But look how exposed that base is. You can't defend that with a couple Stalkers, not with the Oracles stuck in the back of the Zerg base. Oracles do find 3 more drones, but I don't know if that's enough. If these Lings go cancel his 4th, he's in big trouble. That being said, he's getting a battery up, pack of Stalkers. herO's 4th base looking reasonably healthy. He's adding more gateways, so he's going up to 6 gateways right now. And of course, Blink and +1 almost done. +2 melee. And oh, he's going ultras. Oh, that's, oh my, I spent like 2 months after the patch ranting to everybody about how good ultras are and how they're super underrated. But, I mean, he could play, obviously, like, Lurkerling is another way of doing it. But ultras are so good versus Blink Stalkers. Any style that skips a Robo, which is the main Protoss style, they just only use Stalkers, Oracles, charge lots Archons, and then try to go Skytoss from there. That's usually the transition. herO is more likely to build Robo than other Protoss players, but if you go Ultras, they beat Zealots, they beat Stalkers, they do alright versus Archons as well. And with a 7-minute 26 Hive starting, that's pretty beastly. Now, herO should have seen that. Let's check his vision. Yeah, he starts a Robo. Yeah, he must know about the Hive. So he's like, okay, that's not good. Let's go for the Hive. He's coming forward. 9 more drones on the way. Reynor might be being too greedy. herO, though, he's not really set up for a push, is he? He's just clearing creep, picking off an Overlord. Archon starting to be made behind this. Up on 7 gas geysers is herO. Remember, though, this is only a 6 mineral patch, 1 gas base in the back. You can't take an 8th one. Meanwhile, Reynor has 4 full mineral lines. Reynor hitting a giant supply block. He is going for the Hydra Den transition, but once again, it's late. I've said many times, if you want to go for the Lurker transition, you need to go Hydra Den with the Hive starting, so then you can make the Lurker Den straight away. So I'm not sure if this is because it's scouted, so he's changing his plan or what. herO's going to take this base on the right. Oh my lord, those Oracles don't have enough energy. One of them runs out of energy. The other one couldn't even turn its laser on. The other one doing some good damage. The Archons come forward though. Okay. Looks like that was all right for him. 4 Stalkers for 24 Lings. Decent trade, of course, for the Zerg for Reynor, but we'll see how it goes. You see the Hive finishes, and you want to start Lurker upgrades straight away, but his Lurker Den's just started. Reynor has a really bad habit of when he's playing lurkers, he always starts his lurker den really, really late. He's very slow to transition in this matchup. It's one of his biggest weaknesses. It's why we've seen him lose a lot of games that he should have won in PvZ. It's almost always because he's late to get off lair tech. Even though he starts his hive on time, he has no actual transition planned. Or if he does have it planned, he's executing it sloppily. I know it's a little scathing, but it's true. He's such a god in the mid game. He's very good at setting up. We'll see if he can do anything from here. It's going to be disruptors versus lurkers, which is not bad for the Protoss, especially since there's already Templar archives. You can always make High Templar for feedback. You can get some Storm added on top as well if there's lots of Ling Bane. Fleet Beacon is on the way. So herO really setting up for the big macro game right now. Reynor's on Queen Hydra Ling. It's not the best army just now. And even when he does make lurkers, if you can get enough disruptors out, they can zone those pretty well. There's no Vipers, so you don't really need feedback. You just got to make sure the mass Zergling doesn't do too much damage. +2 melee is scary. Evo chambers aren't working right now, so we probably want to see +1 range, +1 carapace, I would imagine. Reynor, of course, very starved for the gas. He's going for the lurker range right now. Zealot run by on the left side, so herO's going to start doing a little bit of multi-prong of his own. He's a bit supply blocked, though. But I do like this forward base on this side. Even if he loses that, it's like attacking up that ramp is so hard for lurkers and siege units, so kind of sets him up for a good defensive position. The Lings crumble to the Zealots 2 hits, but at the same time, the Zealots get surrounded and then they disappear the moment they're surrounded. Baneling Nest on the way, 2 more Vipers as well. Queen steps forward and sets off the stasis trap. Mothership's on the way, 11 gateways, double disruptor production, which he's hiding pretty well so far. There are 2 lurkers made, but he's not making any more than 2. Is he going to try and stay on just mass Hydra Queen Ling Bane? Man, a weird army for Reynor right now. But he is, of course, the master of weird armies. Ooh, herO's wall was open. Ling's going to find a single probe and back off there. When there's a big pack of Zerglings like this, you often split off 2 Archons, 10 Zealots, and you send them off as a sort of run-by squad, because you can chase the Zerglings home and force them to add Banelings, Hydras, more complex units that they don't really want to have on their side army, their off-lane army, I guess would be a way of saying it. So it's the not main battle force. You can see here, yeah, lots of Hydras being added in. He's kind of anticipating that. The Hydras don't have upgrades, though. He's just now adding muscular augments. These Hydras suck. He's got 14 Hydras with no upgrades right now. Reynor, it feels like he's trying to get a read on what herO is doing before he makes a decision about what to do next. He's got the lurker range, but there's cannons and disruptors on that high ground. Feels like herO is set up so well for this late game. He's even adding carriers and storm, and Reynor's still stuck on lurker ground army, so unless he can outposition herO in some big way, doesn't feel too good for him. I do think herO should start doing much bigger pushes on that offside army. I really think 3-4 Archons and 20 Zealots. Now you've seen Hydraling is there. If he doesn't commit to that, Reynor's going to be able to do big counter damage and pull him out of position. That's a big mistake if that's the case. Great feedbacks on the Vipers. Oh, and he gets a Queen. Comes forward with some more balls. 2 more Queens go down. Another Queen does take a ball to the face, but of course it takes 2 to take them down. Mothership is here. There's no Overseer. So that's very good timing on Mama. She comes out right when she's needed. +1 air weapons is started. First carrier hits the field. No Spire transition for Reynor. I honestly, for the life of me, cannot explain what Reynor's plan is other than for herO to throw the game. The Mothership needs to pull back. Oh, okay. Battery overcharge heals the Mothership up like crazy. She's the tankiest unit in the game. 350 shields, 350 hit points. Obviously not counting buildings. There we go. This is that off army I was talking about. Big section of units that he peels off there. Disruptors can't really push him back from this position. I like the low ground siege from Reynor. Nicely done. A couple of lurkers go down, but a Duck's going to punish 2 of those disruptors. That Hydraling army gets cleansed from the map, though. That's a good trade for herO there. Units lost tab, now 1,000 resources in his favor from what was a very even game before this point. I don't think herO should care about losing this position too badly. It's just about making sure he gets his composition right. Mass Ling running in here. What in the heck? That Archon should be doing crazy damage. I don't know about blinking the Stalkers away. I feel like if they stayed there, the Archon would have killed all those Lings with its splash damage. Zealots going in. Still mass Zergling for Reynor. Reynor is fighting hard for map control. And I think in this sort of game, you want to fight him for that map control. You want to escalate the number of Archons in those run-bys. Oh, 3 lurkers get blasted. Great moves. herO Zealots get surrounded, though. Those adrenal +3 Zerglings, they tear him up, man. And look at this. He's going to deny this 6th base, I guess this is, of herO. He has to cancel it. He does go for a nice revelation. The Zergling's looking for the run-bys again. There are some Stalkers out there. Mothership making it very hard to do run-bys. DT's run in. That means Reynor's going to lose his 6th base as well. So both players are losing bases. They've both got decent banks right now. A bunch of probes do get taken out. Feedback on that Overseer would pop it and push the vision back a little bit. Oh, okay. Lings and Hydras. Oh, nice. Gets 2 of the High Templar. Yeah, apparently just brave enough to walk through the Psystorm. Keep in mind, the Hydras in this game do not have grooved spines, guys. They are 5-range Hydralisks, not 6-range Hydralisks. The Lurkers do have double upgrades, and +2 range is kicking in. No Carapace upgrades for the Zerg just yet. We'll want those as the game goes on. Abducts an Observer and snipes it down. Nice move, but the Carrier Storm will reclaim this position. I'd like to see herO take these bases, start building cannon battery out here. This forward position being up on the high ground is huge. He's going to start shoving forward, still building Hydra Lurker. Oh, nice abducts. The feedbacks and storms come down a little bit late there, and he's just going to jump on top as Reynor. Big disruptors land on the Hydras, but the Ling wraparound is insane. Oh my god, the ground army of herO gets wiped. Not enough Archons on the dance floor to deal with those Zerglings. He needs an extra High Templar on backup. And now finally Reynor goes to Corruptors. Can you believe it? Reynor, he just doesn't want to play Broodlord Infestor Viper. He just refuses to play Broodlord Infestor Viper Corruptor until he's forced to. He's like, no, I'm going to go for these crazy ground army engagements, swarm over your ground, abduct what I can, and then I'll swap into just enough Corruptors to beat the carriers. Reynor's keeping it fun, man. I take my hat off to him. I've got to also say, I don't think it's the best way to get the victory in this scenario. It really relies on him getting some big run-bys in, denying some more bases with movement. And he's got so many Zerglings, it could work, right? There's only 1 or 2 cannons on a lot of these bases. +3 melee Adrenal Zerglings will tear those down so quickly. Oracle's coming over here. They could turn their lasers on. Zealot's trying to fight. Armor upgrades are really crucial, as are Plasma Shield upgrades for herO. I'd like to see him continuing those. He's going double air upgrades, but any armor or Plasma Shield upgrades just to slow down the rate at which those Zerglings kill all your stuff is huge. He's already got +1 Plasma Shields, but could do with more of that. And there we go, the Zerglings doing what they can. Remember also, if you get +3 Carapace, Zealots will always 2-shot Zerglings rather than 3-shot. So it takes a while to get there, but he does start +1 Carapace, heading towards eventual efficiency. Here we go, Corruptor Viper comes in. Oh, okay, gets 2 Oracles, 1 with a Revelation there. Nicely done. 10 carriers. Okay, so he's playing pure air versus a guy who's got Lurker, Corruptor Viper. Okay. I mean, this can work out. There's no Infestors. There are 10 Queens that can definitely help with mass transfuse. This base getting denied again. Reynor getting knocked back to 5th base. He does not have a big mineral bank to work with. And these big Zergling waves are very expensive. On the other hand, so are the Zealots. They aren't cheap. And the hatchery survives on 25 hit points. Nice moves there for him. Flux Veins is on the way. Watch out for the abducts. Where's the storm? Where's the feedbacks? Those High Templar are very important. They, of course, have feedback. They can take down the energy on those Vipers and neuter them. Take them a few minutes to recover each time that happens. Oh, Mama goes down! Great. Double tap on her after abducting her. The Viper doesn't even fall. The feedback came in too late. You got to keep Mama at the back of your army. She sticks out like a sore thumb. That booty is just way too thick. You can see it through walls, mate. It's like X-ray booty, man. The Mama goes down, -400, -400. One of the most famous memes in the StarCraft 2 community, because people say, what does the mothership do? And they say, well, it basically, you look at your bank balance, and if you take 400 minerals and 400 gas out of that balance, that's what it does for you. If you build, you build it. Protoss players will argue, you know, cloaking can be pretty good and disruptive to your opponent. The offensive recall can be amazing, but it's not being rebuilt, which tells us herO's decided to give up on it for now. Zealot charges out of the wall. Uh-oh. Oh, he's max. Oh, no. herO. Oh, God. Yeah, he instantly recalls. Very, very good. If he didn't recall, he might have taken crazy damage. He's still got some battery cannon. Those Zerglings won't do too much then. Yeah, with battery overcharge, he's all right. If you get a full surround, you can actually tear down that cannon so fast, battery overcharge won't heal it quickly enough. Adrenal Gland Zerglings are indeed that insane. Lurker on the top right being annoying. The Corruptor Viper, notice how he's looking for exposed carriers. Oracles, anything can kill. Abducts an Oracle, bam, -150, -150, takes it down. Dude, Reynor forcing herO to the very late game. And Reynor is very slowly swapping into double Spire. He's got a Greater Spire, +1 air armor on the way. +2 air armor, +2 plasma shields for herO on the way as well. He's getting gravitic boosters, that's observer speed. Corruptor Viper looking for some more pickoffs. High Templar is there though. Still feels like we need Infestors to join the field. You give up a lot of mobility when you play Infestors. I think It's a good way to play it. Both sides struggling right now. I can't believe Reynor actually kept that base up on the left, man. Oh, he's even transfused it back to almost full life. That's hilarious. It's got 3 lurkers there, a spore crawler. And herO right now looking for that supreme late game army, but 10 carriers, 6 void rays. I mean, this is all just a sign that your opponent needs parasitic bombs to land on those void rays. Oh, he'll go for an abduct there. If there's a big battle where the Protoss shoves, parasitic bomb becomes very important. In the meantime, though, just looking for abducts is usually what he'll go for. Transfuse. Starts gathering more energy off the hatchery, which is already very low, so he's got to be cautious with that. 2 Archons on the left side are going to go in. But now that there's lurkers there, Archons won't do well versus that. Archon's pretty good versus the Ling Bane. The Ling Bane's now on the right side, though. Rain is very flexible with the way he moves around. There is some Spore Spine there. Oh, here we go. Okay, he's got some good D. Artosis Pylon! Oh, no! An Artosis Pylon! Oh, you've always got to build a second pylon on your static defense. A big mistake. The Lings get 19 workers. No way. And the Nexus disappears in an instant. Oh, man. That's a great win there for Raynor. That's slowing down herO's mining massively. He's also sending lurker runbys down the south of the map. The Archons do catch that and at least damage it. Those lurkers, if they get inside the base, they could be very annoying, forcing herO to scramble detection back. They also can just deny this Nexus. herO not rebuilding his probes. He's only rebuilding army. herO getting a bit of a stiffy. He wants to go in here. He wants to win the game, but the Broodlords are out, as is the Corruptor Viper. Oh, man. Look at those Broodlords. The Disruptor goes down. A second Archon falls. Good feedbacks, but parasitic bombs have already landed on the Void Rays. The Void Rays trying to fight, but the Corruptors have avoided most of it. The parasitic bomb doing so much damage. How many Corruptors we got left? 18 Corruptors versus 10 carriers, but only 2 Void Rays remain. The Corruptors have waited for the spell damage to come in, and only now. But wait, there's more Storm. Oh, that Storm damage is painful. The last High Templar fall, and now it's just Corruptor versus Carrier. Corruptor's the natural predator of the Carrier, but there's not many of them left. These Carriers with +2 attack doing pretty well versus the +1 armor Corruptors. I think it's time for herO to pull back, though, because you know there's about 50 Corruptors about to pop out of these eggs. He's just going to try and go for it, though. He's going for broke. The Zerglings are still in there. There's no new expansion going up behind this. These carriers need to get out of here. Otherwise, they will get dived on. herO, you got to recall right now, buddy. Recall! Recall! He's waiting way too long! He's waiting way too long! herO! Oh, no! What's he doing? He's trying to commit here. No! An absolute disaster of a maneuver. What is he doing? Oh, no. The Zealots were going for the damage, but the carriers just stay there and get wrecked. He forced Raynor to remax on 35 Corruptors. If you keep those carriers in the back, that's such a problem for Raynor. But as it is, oh no, he's now making Stalkers. Hydras and Lings are building. Raynor used the last of his bank on this remax. He's just got a few Lurkers, a pack of Lings. Oh, but it's enough, man. The 35 Corruptors can also go PP. We know that's one of Raynor's favorite things. And, you know, he does like to go do that. Lurker harass down the bottom as well. That Nexus will get taken down. Lings going around the right side. We've got cannons up on these bases. Void Rays looking to do some fancy harassment. The Corruptors say, no way, buddy. Corruptors just going to chase them down. I think Corruptors are faster even than Speed Void Rays. Yeah, just slightly. Corruptors are so fast these days. The old Corruptor used to be a very slow unit that was also very slow to accelerate. But now catches 2 of those Void Rays. The Zerglings do escape from this base, not able to get any catastrophic damage. He's building a mothership. I don't know why herO would build a mothership against a guy who's got 35 Corruptors, guys. I think he's learnt about memes. I think someone showed herO the English community's memes. They said, hey, what do you think of this -400, -400? He's like, oh, I'll take 2, please. Like, in this scenario, it makes no sense to build a mothership. I mean, it helps stop Ling run-bys if they don't have an Overseer, but that is truly pointless when your opponent has 35 Corruptors. That is actually just a ridiculous investment. Corruptor Viper can fly on in. Mothership's like, hey, I'm cloaking the cannons. The Corruptor's like, you're what? And enough said. I think it's time to unzip his fly, guys. Raynor is ready to go, man. He's been drinking Mountain Dew for the last 3 days straight. He does lose his Vipers, but that's not enough Stalkers to stop him. Look at that. Ling's coming in the left side, trying to focus down the Nexus. He unzips his fly. 35 simultaneous streams all over the Nexus. Another Nexus goes down in the bottom. Dude, Raynor, he might not have a lot of bank, but he's at more than double the army supply. He's got a good ground army. He's got an air pack of units that means swapping back into air is just impossible for herO. And Raynor is on the cusp of all killing this set of excellent Korean players. Now, don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean that all foreigners are better than all Koreans. I think we all know that if herO was on this lineup and he came out in this first game, Reynor would have some issues with that player. That is the one guy that seems to always have his number recently. Other than that, though, Reynor is just all over this team. Byun, Creator, and herO, all absolute beastly names. It does feel like if you take herO out of the mix, I'm not sure who's favored versus Reynor. herO and herO, the two players who historically can get the better of him. Clem sometimes as well. Dark, not so much. Dark and Reynor have amazingly fun series, but I feel like Reynor has the winning record there. I could be wrong. I need to look up those stats. There's a world championship where Dark did clown on him. Man, beautiful play. Reynor just rolling over the top and getting the 3-0, bringing it to the 4-0 scoreline. Wins the best of 7 round 2 in the Olimoleague Invitational number 15. Chad Gamer Reynor still looks pretty damn fine when he does decide to just play Zerg. What a beast. His Protoss is amazing as well, but when he's just playing Zerg and he's playing like that, that's a thing of beauty. He stayed on ground so long in that game when I thought he had to swap to air way earlier, and he showed that he can find a way to make it work. GG, well played.